Hi folks, same shirt again, but welcome to another 5-Minute Friday here on Meaningful Money. So last week I talked about the only 3 accounts that you need, and within those accounts I talked about something called a multi-asset fund. Thought it might make sense if I put some flesh on the bones there, so that's what we're going to talk about this week. So let's put 5 minutes on the clock down here as usual, and let's dive in. So what is multi-asset? Well, in order to answer that, we need to understand what an asset is, or an asset class, as it's sometimes called. I sound very Yorkshire when I say that, don't I? Asset class, that knows. But an asset is a type of thing that you can invest in the hope that it will A, produce an income perhaps, and B, I nearly said C then, and B, increase in value over time. You see, money in the bank never increases in value, you just get interest added. But if you buy something like, say, a property or a share in a company, the hope is that that will increase in value over time, making you richer. So, all kinds of different types of assets: shares, bonds, which are IOUs essentially, loans to governments and to companies. Then we've got property, everybody understands that. We've got gold, stuff like that. Those are all assets that you can invest in within your pension or your ISA or whatever. Now, what multi-asset funds do is they blend those assets in different weights depending on the risk profile of the fund, the timescale maybe that you're investing over, and they keep an eye on those weights and they keep them in check for you. It's a kind of done for you, fire and forget, pre-built, off-the-shelf portfolio that you can just buy within your ISA or your pension and have done with it. Now, nearly every ISA and pension that I've ever seen offers some kind of multi-asset solution, but you might need to dig a little bit, because very often when you take out one of these things, you might get a kind of default fund. Particularly true if you're in a workplace pension, there may be a default fund. So you may need to get the brochure out, download it from the website, and have a look at the available funds. I imagine probably 9 out of 10 times there will be some kind of multi-asset fund available. How do you find them? Well, you're looking for words like portfolio. That's usually a bit of a giveaway. Strategy, you might see that in the name of the fund. That usually gives you some idea that it might be a kind of a multi-asset type approach. And also look for words which suggest risk profiles like balanced, cautious, adventurous, defensive, conservative, things like that. Look for those and then dig a little deeper, because chances are there will be some kind of multi-asset fund. Now, if you really want to dig deep, you can go looking in the Investment Association sectors. There are 4 sectors primarily, there is a 5th one as well, which these kind of funds tend to fall into. Now, a sector, remember, is just a grouping of similar funds designed to help potential investors find the kind of funds that they might be interested in. So there are 3 mixed asset sectors, depending on how much of the fund is in shares. So you get 0 to 35, 20 to 60, 40 to 85 mixed asset sectors, okay? And those numbers refer to the percentage of shares in the portfolios within those sectors. Then you've also got the flexible investment sector, and sometimes the global sector as well will include multi-asset funds. Now, I like passive multi-asset funds. Those are ones which don't choose actively managed funds underneath the bonnet, if you like, but they use trackers instead. Trackers just track an index. There's no highly paid fund manager and massive team of analysts behind the scenes that you have to pay huge bonuses to. It's generally intending just to track the market, and so it keeps things cheap for you, and cheap is good. Now, clearly not enough time to deal with this subject in any kind of depth, but I do have a podcast on how to choose a multi-asset fund. It goes into quite a lot more detail, you'll be glad to know. MeaningfulMoney.tv/BW7, part of the Building Wealth series. Season 4, I think. So MeaningfulMoney.tv/BW7. Loads of detail there, including some downloads which will help you. So that's what a multi-asset fund. It's a kind of fire and forget, done for you, off the shelf. Just buy it, set it and forget it. I really like them. I hold them within my pensions and my ISAs. I wish I could sort of give you some specific recommendations, but I can't do that. I'd be breaking the law, and you wouldn't want me to do that now, would you? Thank you so much for watching once again. Hope you're enjoying 5 Minute Friday. I'll speak to you next week.